There is a section in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna where the Master is describing the sound, the sacred sound of Om, that sound Brahman. And I'd like to read it and then try to discuss briefly its import for us in our sadhana and lives. Once Sri Ramakrishna explained the sacred word Om and the true knowledge of Brahman and the state of mind after the attainment of Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna is that knowledge of God, direct perception and revelation of the essence of our true being. So the Master said, the sound Om is Brahman. The Rishis and Sages practiced austerity and realized the sound Brahman. After attaining perfection, one hears the sound of this eternal word rising spontaneously from the navel. What will you gain, some sages asked, by merely hearing this sound? You hear the roar of the ocean from a distance, the Master said. By following the roar, eventually you will find the ocean. As long as there is the roar, there must also be the ocean. By following the trail of Om, you attain Brahman, of which the word is the symbol. That Brahman has been described by the Vedas as the ultimate goal. But such vision is not possible as long as you are conscious of your ego. A man realizes Brahman only when he feels neither I nor you, neither one nor many. So the Master actually is trying to explain to us that though we are in essence that eternal Brahman, that we must relinquish consciousness of the lower material world, and by actually not renouncing it, but renouncing it mentally, by mentally piercing through the veil of the consciousness that binds us, that we are this body, that there are many and not simply one. This is done by austerity, this is done by practice, and as the Buddha said, this is done by patient perseverance in the practice. So, to realize, we must cause our life to manifest as a receptor, to become receptive to the effulgence of that consciousness. This is where we find the obstacles of moksha, as Sri Ramana Maharshi said, to be simply the habits of the mind. Even though we are waves upon that ocean of divinity, some waves are not in unison. Some waves are choppy, some waves actually move against the current of the ocean itself, and therefore they are dissipated and they cause foam and they cause turbulence. But what we're seeking in our spiritual life as well as our physical life is that we move in unison, we move in rhythm is the Sanskrit word. For when the creation was brought forth and the Dharma, the rule of law, was put forth, first Brahma created rhythm, or the rhythm, or that harmony by which all creation moved in complete synchronization with the actual consciousness of God. So what we're finding is if we suffer in this world, and if we find that hardship and mental turbulence occur in our mind, we apply meditation, we apply all those aspects of spiritual practice which bring harmony, bring tranquility and unison with the movement, the actual waves of God's consciousness, which are constantly growing, glowing and moving in our lives as grace. So therefore we must understand, as Sri Ramakrishna did say, grace is always blowing in the wind. Our job is to simply become receptive to it. Our job is to unfurl our sail and catch with our own purified consciousness the grace and glory of God. And then we will come to realize that that sound of God is the innermost sound of our mind and heart. And then through this, we will find peace, tranquility, and all that is one in life. Hariyo.